Alright, this is attempt 3 on this video. I have so far filmed them, and every time I do, it turns out I would have to be watching it like this. I don't know why my phone keeps doing that. Something about that whole motion, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So, it's the 27th today. I know I'm way behind, so we're going to try to do a little bit of recap and then touch on a bunch of little subjects all around, kind of give you something to do for the time being, and see what all we can come up with. Let's see, so the last couple videos started with the crisscross, crossover. We also discussed doing it opposite hands, fan, opposite hands, doing it backwards as well is definitely a thing. So we're going to continue. Let's see, we talked about hip reels, shoulder reels, where you do the butt, the swing, and over. And once you get it down, you just whoop, and there it is. So yeah, and with the butt, of course, bring it around, connect it to shoulder reels, however you want. Okay, so that's the recap. Today I want to work with planes a little bit. I'm going to touch on those. Essentially, plane ear control. Each poi, you really want to concentrate the way it's spinning. I mean, you don't want it to be like this one is all like crazy doing its thing. You can't really control it if you're right hand dominant like myself. It can be problematic trying to get your left hand to do what you want. Keep them nice, straight, just visually pleasing. It'll also allow you to know where you're playing, where your poi are specifically, and branch off into some more complicated maneuvers, dances, such like that. Great exercise. Saloon doors. Open, close, open, close, open, close. And as you're doing it, I like to actually put my hand into the motion to start off with, and then once you understand how it needs to happen, it's just kind of a slow twist. I mean, you can okay, anyway, sidetracking myself. So, practice saloon doors. A great way to practice wall planes is, you guessed it, on a wall. So, you get yourself pretty much right near a wall, start your spin, and just kind of try not to hit the wall. Get as close as you can to the wall on all sides with your poi, and make sure that you're spinning straight, vertical, happy circles. Happy circles. We're gonna put a happy circle over here, and it'll be our secret. It's just gonna stay over here, and it'll lighten up the room. So that's a great way to practice planes. Another thing that comes with planes that's actually pretty good once you get it down, the butterfly. Butterflies are fun. You notice my hands are doing like a little bouncing thing, right? Alright, now we're gonna offset them. So one up, one down, one up, one down. Now my planes are not necessarily straight on this. I'm with butterflies, I'm a little bit more lenient on where they go, just because you've got a lot to worry about with butterflies. You've got 2 contact points. When you're doing a traditional butterfly, you get the very peak on the top, bottom. So 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock, that's both points where you can get the click-clack effect right there. Something you want to watch out for. Later on down, if you're using anything light poi related, with fire, it can be a little bit of a hassle if you get caught up. If the chains were to do something and you're not able to get out of it. Socks, however, contact poi, not too bad unless you got a different set of contact poi that are fragile. So good times to learn. So as you're doing the saloon doors, go open, and then as you come back to close, prepare for your butterfly. You want to wait until they're at their peak and cross. And that's just going to take some practice and some time. For some reason, I couldn't get it right off the bat, and everybody else I know that I give it to, they're just like, oh yeah, you mean this? Bam, butterfly, what? Yeah. So, practice makes perfect. After that, I mean, it's all about how you move your hands. You can do stuff like this. You can bring it to one side. You can bring it to another side. You can even, well, I can't, apparently. Try that again. Nope. So that's why I don't do that. But it's all stuff that you can do, given practice and time. Okay, moving on. What is that? We're gonna start with 3-beat. 3-beat will be fun. It's a nice little tool to use around when you're spinning. I use it a lot more than a single cross point. A lot more than a 5-beat, just because I don't really like how the 5-beat works. There's too much wind and unwind. Essentially, this is a 3-beat. I'm gonna show you from both angles. You got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's a 3-beat. Now, how do you do a 3-beat, you might be asking? Well, this is how. Actually, let's start with right hand. Grab your left poi, hold it up, throw it around in the air, make sure you're holding on to it, stick straight out. Okay, over top, under. Over top, under. Over top, under. Great practice for a 3-beat. And bringing it back. Other poi, once you get it, of course. It's over, under, back, over, under, back, over, under, back. Now, once you understand both of those, this is also a split time technique. So as you can see, my poi are 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, so that you can get the desired effect. Kai, stop doing that. Just not on the carpet. Cats being cats. So that's a great way to start learning the 3-beat. And it will take some time. Nice thing about a 3-beat is you can kind of tie a bunch of things into it. Understanding that and stuff like the hips to shoulders specifically. So that's more of a fountain technique. We'll go over windmills in just a minute, and then you can kind of get an idea for tying all this together. This is going to be like all the information all at once right now. Again, sorry, it's been a while from the last video. It's been kind of crazy heyday at work and home, rebuilding and working and staying late for people that are angry and ornery because they have that right. Anywho, so saloon doors, practicing makes perfect. Another great plein air tactic, practice method, if you will. You're gonna want to get a horizontal plane. I have to kind of hold it by the knob because otherwise these ropes get all twisty. But best way to come up to a tabletop. And you're probably going, now what am I going to use that for? Well, later on in the line and down the road, you'll know. Which we'll just kind of touch on real quick with a couple little things. With 3-beat, you know, practice makes perfect, just one hand at a time. One hand at a time. And you guessed it, doing it backwards. Why did I drop that? Same thing, just, and then it's over, I guess, under, over, back, under, over, back, and under, over, back, and under, over, back. So get down both of them, and then you can bring it around. Great middle spots, along with controlling your planes when you can do saloon doors. Once you get to the middle, if you're not going to practice butterflies, another great thing is switching which hand is in front, especially if you're doing a split time. Show you what I'm talking about here. I mean, you could do it at the same time. The only reason I mention that right now is because you can go from a 3-beat into that little middle point, into a backwards 3-beat, into that little middle point, beat, middle point, beat, middle point, beat, middle point, crisscross beat. I mean, it's completely up to you. You hold the poi, so it is your decision. Off the table. Cats, again. So, options. Where do we go next? Another couple basic maneuvers. I think I might be going ahead of myself. At this point would be like the time to pause it, get some of the ideas down, do the thing, figure out what else going down, and then we returned. So returning, you now hopefully know the 3-beat, the crisscross, the reverse 3-beat, the crisscross. Well, I guess that'd be just the crossy cross. Back to the 3-beat, how to control your planes a little bit. And you know, planes, they come in time. I mean, I still have to practice mine all the time. It's just one of those things. This right here is a watermill. It's kind of fun to do in between things. All it really is just 1 over 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 1. You will hit your butt a lot. It happens. And then, let's see if we're spinning this way. 1 over 1 over. Yeah, that's my alarm going off. Sorry, getting distracted. So yeah, that's a watermill. It's good times. The same aspect, if you learn this one first, which is actually a little trickier to learn, I think, than the windmill. Windmill's nice and easy. It's just 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Just like that. Nothing fancy about it, but that's one of those things that you do want to learn for fountains and such. Oh, I can't remember how I learned that one. I think it was just 1 arm at a time. Fan. So you're just practicing, hopefully without a hoodie on. And with that, I mean, it's going to be, you're spinning, let's see, you're looking at it, so it would be clockwise from the poi spinner, and then, nope, and it's just like a cyclone apparently. Left hand leads if it's clockwise, right hand leads if it's counterclockwise, and just kind of follow the spin. Once you get that, you can tie it into a bunch of other stuff. All of this is leading up to bigger possibilities, starting with super fundamentals to get you able to move around, understand how your poi spins, and tie it together with whatever you want to do. Windmill's a good one. There's another one, I can't remember the name of it. I want to keep saying cyclone, but I think that's horribly wrong. And it's essentially, like, I think of it as a parking ramp, as weird as that is. And it's just up, down, up, down, up, down. And again, this is another great way to go into, oh hey look, I'm into a windmill now. Again, left hand leads, right hand follows if you're spinning clockwise. And let's see, for this one, it was just 1, 2. Starting off one hand at a time is the best way to do it. Just like that. Nothing too hard, nothing too bad. It is kind of a pain in the butt to learn again. Anything that's close to the head at first is slightly irritating. But once you get them, you'll find out how many you can actually tie together. And that's quite nice. Everything just kind of flows into the next maneuver. Really be patient, practice your planes. They will help. And sorry for the overload. I'm going to try to break it down a little bit more next time. Hopefully this is helpful. And yeah, I'll see you next week.